Welcome for today's webinar about the perks of having private healthcare in Luxembourg. Let me introduce myself very quickly. My name is Patrick Malgi. I'm co-founder of TaxX.lu, the website that exists since 2018 that helps everyone to file their tax return in Luxembourg in the most easiest way. TaxX.lu is also partner of La Lux and DKV Luxembourg, because basically if you are talking tax return, you're also talking about the possible tax optimizations, tax deductions, and insurance products are basically the main deductions you can claim for on the tax return. During the entire webinar, on the left side of the screen, you can see a QR code. By scanning that one, you will be on a form and with this form, basically, you can ask for a quote for private healthcare for you and your entire family. Just complete that form, and then we will come back to you with a non-binding offer for an insurance, a private healthcare insurance from DKV Luxembourg. Some context about the webinar. Basically, in Luxembourg, most drivers are having a full casco car insurance, which basically covers all the damage on your car. However, a lot less people also have private healthcare, which can be seen as a casco for your health. So the basic question that I'm asking myself very often is, what is more important? Is it your car, or is it really your and your family's health? So that's why today we are talking about private healthcare. And one question I often hear is if the public healthcare system in Luxembourg is not enough to be properly covered. Actually, yes, in Luxembourg we have an excellent public healthcare system, and according to Eurostat, around 70% of medical costs for people are covered with this public system, which you may know, basically called a CNS, and CNS is reimbursing most of the medical bills that you are sending them over, but sometimes they're not reimbursing 100%, and basically on average around 30% of the costs remain with you regarding medical costs. And here is where the private healthcare can be a solution. Basically, private healthcare will cover what the public system is not covering at 100%. A few examples. So basically, if you're going to a doctor and also doing some lab tests and prescriptions for some medication, you would have to pay around 116 euros for this. CNS would refund you around 93 euros. So your costs, remaining costs, will be around 23 euros. The same if you have physical therapy sessions, so basically kinesiotherapy. There you have to pay for 10 sessions around 354 euros. CNS will refund you around 250. So there will be a cost around 106 euros on your side. And glasses, there I'm the expert because I have glasses for a very long time. If I'm buying new glasses with basically the entire glasses, it will be around, or it could be around 559 euros for those glasses. CNS will only refund me around 73 euros. So my costs would be around 490 euros. And this is where private healthcare will play a role. So basically, it will allow you to have this medical costs covered by this insurance. So what exactly is private healthcare? So as I mentioned, in Luxembourg, we have a good public healthcare system, and the private healthcare basically completes this public healthcare insurance. So it covers the gap when CNS is not reimbursing 100% of your medical bills. It covers also treatments that CNS is not reimbursing at all. We will see a few examples in a minute. And on top of that, it also provides additional coverage and extra services that we will also see right now. How can this help you to save on taxes? But basically, on the Luxembourg tax return, you have different possibilities of deductions. And based on your income, those deductions will bring you some tax savings. So most important deductions on the Luxembourg tax return are interests you are paying on personal loans, but also on mortgages, different insurances that you could deduct, contributions to private pension plans or home savings plans, and private healthcare insurance premiums that you pay are deductible in the category of insurances. So private healthcare is fully deductible up to a maximum deductible limit, and this maximum deductible limit in Luxembourg is 672 euros per household members. So if you are a couple with 2 kids, you could deduct a maximum of 4 times 672 euros, meaning 2,688 euros for your family. How much taxes could you save? This basically depends on your income situation. So a few examples, just to give you an idea. If you are single, having a gross monthly salary of more or less 3,000 euros, then your tax gain is around 21%. Meaning that if you are deducting 1,000 euros in this situation, then your tax gain will be around 210 euros. If your gross monthly salary is 7,000 euros, then you are at the marginal tax rate of 42%, meaning that you will save 420 euros by deducting 1,000 on your tax return. So the tax gains, they depend on your personal income situation. What are the different options that DKV Luxembourg is offering? You have to know that DKV basically is a worldwide brand. It's number 1 for private healthcare in the world. And DKV Luxembourg, it's part of the group Lux, which is Luxembourg's first insurance company. And DKV Luxembourg, they're offering different kinds of coverages. And basically, for every situation, you can find the coverage they are offering. In this webinar, we will talk about their most important product, or the one that covers you the most. It's called Easy Health, and Easy Health, basically, it covers quite everything, and we'll see in a minute what are those coverages. So what is covered? Basically, we can classify those coverages in different categories. At first, you have everything related to hospital treatment. So if you have to go to a hospital, this insurance will give you, will reimburse you first-class room, voice, TV, and phone if needed. If your child is at the hospital up to the age of 12, you are, as a parent, also covered, so you can stay with your kid. If there's transportation to the hospital, up to 400 kilometers of transportation is included. At birth of your child, the father can as well stay at maternity. It's all covered by this insurance. And on top of that, you have like 20 euros per day that you're getting basically cash for your hospital stay. Then another category, it's all about the dental treatments and visual aids. So basically, dental treatment is covered if you have if you need the replacement of a teeth, if you have a deep tooth cleaning, or if you need orthodontic treatment, which is very common for kids. That one will be covered here. And visual aids, so basically glasses, contact lenses, it's covered up to 500 euros every 2 years. And also LASIK treatment, so basically laser operations for your eyes, it's covered up to 2,000 euros. The first years you are a customer of DKV Luxembourg, and after 48 months, even 3,000 euros that will be reimbursed here for LASIK treatment. If you are going to see a doctor, so for flu, for example, CNS is not reimbursing 100%, so this will be covered as well by Easy Health. The same for drugs and dressings, so basically if you have to go to the pharmacy and buy some medication, part of those subscribed drugs are covered by CNS, but you always also have to pay for the part that is not taken into account by CNS, and this one will be covered by Easy Health. Same for a treatment by a physiotherapist, kinesiotherapy, midwife, so after birth, it will be covered. You have also up to 1,000 euros per year for alternative treatments. Most common here is an osteopath or chiropractor. So up to 1,000 euros are reimbursed every year for those treatments. Then you have two special options included into Easy Health. One is called Travel Plus. Basically, it's a medical health insurance for your vacations. So you will be covered when traveling. And we will see in a minute an example of this coverage. So if something would happen to you, you will be all good. And you can also get full coverage for repatriation. So if you could not come back on your own, Easy Health with Travel Plus would cover the way home from your vacation. Another option that is included is Best Care Plus. Best Care Plus, basically, it allows you to get an appointment with a specialist within 5 days if there is a serious illness. So if there would be a doubt about a tumor, for example, a brain tumor, DKV will get you an appointment with a specialist within 5 days. So you will have this checked out very, very quickly. What will be reimbursed? A few examples. We cannot go into all the details, but just to give you a little bit of an idea. Physiotherapist or kinesiotherapy, let's assume you would have 10 treatments here for muscular tension. Then in total, the kinesiotherapist would invoice you around 360 euros. CNS would reimburse you about 250 euros. And on your own, you would have to pay around 106 euros. Thanks to Easy Health, you will be reimbursed 100% of this remaining costs. So at the end, this 10 treatments will cost you 0 euros. Glasses, same example than before. If you have glasses for 560 euros, CNS will reimburse you more or less 73 euros, and the remaining 490 euros will be fully covered by DKV. Easy Health, because basically you have the right for a reimbursement of 500 euros every 2 years. And honestly, no one needs new glasses every year. So 2 years seems fine to me here. If you have dental care to be handled, so basically if you have 5 crowns that have to be replaced, here, the doctor would probably invoice you around 4,300 euros. CNS would only reimburse you 1,000 and a few. And on your own, you would have to handle 3,300 euros. DKV Luxembourg with Easy Health would reimburse you 600 euros per crown, so 5 times 600, so a total of 3,000 euros. So at the end, your own contribution as a patient will only be a little less than 300 euros for total price for the 5 crowns of more than 4,000 euros. Then orthodontic treatment. This is quite interesting for kids because a lot of kids need those brackets. So what is it called in English when they are young? So here an example of such an orthodontic treatment of 5,300 euros. CNS would only reimburse you 1,800. So you would have to pay 3,400 on your own. And here DKV Luxembourg with Easy Health would reimburse you 80% of the remaining costs. So at the end, this treatment would only cost you a little less than 700 euros. We will see in a few minutes how much such insurance would cost for the kids. And it's really at an advantage price. So at the end, it's very interesting to cover your kids right away. So if there is some orthodontic treatment that has to happen, you will be all covered by DKV Luxembourg. Then, worst case scenario, you have an intervention abroad in a private clinic for brain tumor, and you have to stay there for 14 days. Total cost would be around 16,000 euros. Here, DKV Luxembourg would reimburse you 100% of that costs. So there's almost 16,000 euros. So at the end, you don't have a personal contribution on this operation. And on top of that, you will receive 20 euros a day per day at the hospital. So you will receive around 280 euros in total when getting this surgery done. Then the option Travel Plus, which is included into the Easy Health coverage. Here, a very common example, you're having a skiing accident, you are falling on the slope, the helicopter has to rescue you, the helicopter will bring you to a private clinic in the skiing station, and then you cannot drive back home on your own and you need an ambulance. All this will be covered by CNS, sorry, not by CNS, not at all by CNS, but by Easy Health. So at the end, this intervention of 14,000 euros will be fully covered by DKV Luxembourg, thanks to this option Travel Plus, which covers you when you are abroad. Also very interesting to know, it's in America and US, it's very common that you have to show that you have a private coverage before actually they are taking you in charge. And so DKV Luxembourg is well known as well in the US because it's a worldwide brand, and it gives you also the facilities to to enjoy the treatment you need in those countries. Once you have subscribed to a DKV contract, how do you can claim a refund? It's very easy. So basically, once you have subscribed, you will receive information about how to download the Lux Easy app. And thanks to this app, you can basically claim your reimbursements. Two options here. If you have gotten the PDF, could be the PDF you're getting back from CNS. When they have done a reimbursement, you're getting a paperback telling you exactly what is the part they have covered and the part you have on your own. So that one you could upload it here into the app. Same if you have an invoice, a PDF invoice from your doctor, you can upload it here. Or if you have gotten a paper invoice or the bill from the pharmacy, you can just scan this document in the app, and normally within 2, 3, 4 days you have the reimbursement on your bank account. So they are very quick in reimbursing those medical bills. What's the cost? We have seen the advantages. So what's the price for all this? Basically, we can say that the costs depend primarily on your age when signing up. Very easy rule, the younger you are, the cheaper it will be, basically because the older you are, you have also more medical treatments that are needed, and that's why the price is higher. For the same contracts, for the same coverages, you have two options for the quote. Basically, you have one price with old age provision. So basically, there the rate is higher now, but it will not increase with age. And then the without old age provision, there the rate nowadays is lower, but it will increase every 5 years related to your age. So the older you will become, the higher the price will be. People often ask me what's the best between both. So the most important to understand is the coverage is exactly the same. So there's no difference between those two rates. But the question you have to ask yourself is basically, what are my plans in life? Do I plan to stay for a longer period in Luxembourg? If the answer is yes, then I would go for the option with old age provision, because right now it's a little bit higher. The rate is a little bit higher, but it will remain the same, nevertheless, your age later on. If your plan is to stay in Luxembourg just for a few years, then I would suggest to opt for the one without old age provision. Of course, it's also possible to switch if your plans are changing and you decide to stay for a longer time in Luxembourg. Good news for the parents. Children up to age of 20, there the price is fixed, and it's 24.23 euros per month per child. So it's a very advantage offer here. Coverages are the same than for an adult, and with what we discussed, those treatments on the teeth, this is a very good deal to cover your kids if they would need such treatments. What about the tax savings? As I mentioned, you can fully deduct those insurance premiums for private healthcare on your Luxembourg tax return. Let's have a look at an example. Here, a couple with 2 kids, they're earning a total of 120,000 euros of taxable income. So for this family, the price for Easy Health would be around 205 euros per month. And this would allow this family to save around 1,121 euros per year on taxes. So at the end, thanks to these tax savings, the net cost for the entire family would only be 112 euros a month to cover the 4 people in this household. Same family, let's take a look into an example of reimbursements, reimbursements that are quite common, I would say. So let's assume that during a year, the father would have 5 osteopathy sessions, would buy some contact lenses, would have to buy some medication at the pharmacy. The mother would have a session with a kinesiotherapist, has to change a crown, and the children would go to see a doctor and need some new glasses. So in total here, the refund from DKV Luxembourg would be around 1,830 euros for that year. And the total cost for this insurance, thanks to the tax savings, would be only 1,344 euros. How to subscribe? But basically, you can ask us for a quote. Just scan the QR code that you see on the left side of the screen. And basically, the information we need for first a non-binding quote would be your date of birth and the country of residency. So basically, if you are living in Luxembourg or in one of the neighbor countries. Once you have accepted this quote, we will send you over a medical questionnaire that you need to complete online. And based on this medical questionnaire, DKV Luxembourg will check if you can have this private healthcare insurance or not. If you would have cancer, for example, right now, then the chances are very low that DKV Luxembourg would give you a coverage, because basically you have already a sickness and they cannot cover you right now. So that would be the case for very severe conditions like, for example, cancer. If you would have, I don't know, a broken surgery on your finger, for example, over the last years, then it could be possible that DKV Luxembourg will exclude everything related to this finger in your contract. So basically, if you would have to do furthermore surgeries related to this problem, to this issue on the finger, then they will exclude it basically on your contract. So just complete this medical questionnaire, and then let's check a DKV Luxembourg about your situation. But most of the contracts, or most of the people that ask for coverage will also get it. And at the end, once the medical questionnaire is completed, then you will receive the contract, and there you can decide to accept this contract, this private healthcare insurance, or not. By subscribing to a private healthcare insurance, there are always waiting periods. So there's a general waiting period of 3 months, which is basically for every medical bill that you would have the first 3 months after subscription. That will not be covered, except in case of an accident. So if you would subscribe today, and in a month you would have a car accident, of course, at that moment, you will be also covered. But if you are going to see a doctor in a month for flu, that one will not be reimbursed. Then you have a special waiting period for dental care and psychotherapy. That one is 8 months long, and everything related to pregnancy or the laser for the eyes, there's a waiting period of 12 months. There's no general waiting period of 3 months in 2 cases. First one is if you are switching private healthcare, so basically the provider of it, and there are different providers here in Luxembourg. DKV is the most important one, but there are other ones. So if you are with another private healthcare provider and you are switching to DKV Luxembourg, then there's no general waiting period of 3 months, and you're covered straight from day one on. And special offer right now at DKV Luxembourg, if you are subscribing before August 1st, now in 2025, then there's no general waiting period of 3 months neither. So don't lose time, just ask us for a quote. Once you have subscribed, how can you deduct this insurance from on your tax return? Basically, at the start of the new year, you will find in the app of LaLux a certificate mentioning exactly how much taxes, how much premiums did you pay for this private healthcare insurance, and that certificate you need to add it to your tax return. If you are doing your tax return on TaxX.lu, in the process of completing your tax return, the system will ask you to just add this certificate into the system, and then the system will recognize the type of this document and will automatically complete this this category of your tax return. And good to know, on taxx.lu, when filing your tax return with us, basically the system will automatically show your tax optimization potential. So the system will automatically show, based on your personal situation, what you could do better, so you could save taxes in the future. So as mentioned, there are different possibilities: private pension plan, life insurance, health insurance, home savings plan, and we can help you with this. Basically, you can schedule a free call with our experts. And you can also do so by scanning this QR code on the right. So there, my team will have a look into your situation, and together we can go through the different options you have to lower down your taxes in Luxembourg. If you want to have a quote for the Easy Health coverage from DKV Luxembourg, then just scan the QR code on the left screen, complete this form. We need only a few information, and then we'll come back to you with a non-binding quote, and we can show you how much this would cost for your family, and you will also get more information about possible reimbursements that you can claim. That's it for the webinar for today. I hope this was useful information. Don't hesitate to check on our website. There are other webinars there online about different kinds of tax optimization options. If you have any request, any need for an insurance of any type, car, house, loan insurance, life insurance, everything, we are here to help. We cannot just provide you those contracts, but we can also help you to optimize them for your for tax optimization purposes. Thanks a lot for your attention, and see you soon. Bye bye.